Ever wonder what it means when a woman touches your arm? This simple gesture, often overlooked, holds insights that reveal more than meets the eye. In this video, we'll explore the deeper signals behind touch and the lessons they offer. Lessons rooted in Stoic philosophy, focusing on self-awareness, emotional control, and resilience. Whether it's a casual touch or a lingering one, each gesture tells its own story. Yet, as high-value men, we must approach these signals with a calm mind, free from assumptions. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength comes from staying centered, observing without jumping to conclusions, and finding clarity in the subtleties of human interaction. Stay with us as we decode these social cues, shedding light on both romantic and platonic intentions. This knowledge empowers you, not to chase, but to understand, and if needed, let go. If you find value in these insights, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Your journey to a mindful Stoic life begins now. Section 1. Types of touch and what they could mean. Let's dive into what different types of touch mean, starting with the friendly touch, a touch often misunderstood. In Stoic philosophy, we learn that strength lies in clear perception, seeing things as they are, not as we assume them to be. The friendly touch is a perfect example of this. Often, it's light, brief, and meant to signal camaraderie rather than romantic interest. In these moments, a woman's touch may be her way of building trust or connection. Now imagine you're in a conversation and she casually touches your arm. This moment may feel like more, but here's where the wisdom of emotional detachment comes in. A Stoic mindset allows us to remain grounded, observing without judgment. Remember, her touch might simply indicate comfort, a small way of saying, "I trust you," rather than, "I'm interested in you." What matters most is how we choose to respond. As a high-value man, you understand that such a touch doesn't define the relationship. Instead, you stay present, fully aware of the moment but detached from any expectations. In practicing this emotional detachment, you gain power over your reactions, a core element in Stoic resilience. Moreover, context matters. A friendly touch is often paired with lighthearted conversation or even laughter, showing she's at ease. But it's essential not to let our emotions color this gesture with meaning that isn't there. Here, the Stoic principle of self-control comes into play. Instead of reacting impulsively or jumping to conclusions, you choose to observe, aware that the friendly touch is simply a reflection of comfort, not necessarily attraction. And when you understand this, you find peace and clarity. The friendly touch becomes what it is, friendly. You stay composed, confident, and calm. You're not overanalyzing or seeking validation from each gesture, but rather staying centered within yourself. This approach aligns with the Stoic pursuit of inner peace, not being swayed by fleeting impressions or temporary emotions. This understanding strengthens relationships too, as you become someone who sees beyond surface gestures and values genuine connection. Remember, the calm, mindful man isn't rushed by excitement or dragged down by assumptions. He waits, he observes, and he finds clarity in simplicity. When you encounter a friendly touch, recognize it, but don't let it control you. Embrace it as it is, a moment of comfort, no more, no less. This way, you remain in control, calm, and true to the philosophy of a high-value man. Section 2. Recognizing signs of romantic interest. Now let's shift to recognizing signs of romantic interest, a touch that might go beyond simple friendliness. As Stoic philosophy teaches us, true clarity comes from observing with patience. When a woman's touch lingers or is paired with subtle cues, it might signal something deeper. But how can you tell if there's genuine interest in her gesture? First, notice eye contact. If she touches your arm and maintains a steady gaze, her intentions may be leaning toward attraction. Eye contact is one of the most revealing cues in body language. It shows a desire to connect, to reach deeper than words can express. In these moments, as a high-value man, remain calm and composed. There's no need to respond with immediate intensity. Instead, take note of her gaze, observing the connection without being swept away by it. Next, look for her smile. A natural, open smile, especially one combined with touch, is a powerful signal of warmth and comfort. It's an invitation, subtle but real. And yet, the Stoic way teaches us to stay grounded, understanding that this invitation doesn't mean an immediate commitment. You acknowledge her warmth, letting it sink in, but you don't react impulsively or let emotions take over. In staying detached, you remain in control, centered in your calm energy. Another important cue is proximity. How close is she standing? When a woman touches your arm and remains nearby, it shows she feels comfortable, safe, perhaps even drawn to your presence. But here's where self-discipline is crucial. Avoid assuming this means she's ready to take things further. Letting her actions unfold naturally while observing calmly is the essence of Stoic mindfulness in relationships. True strength is found in waiting, not rushing. To practice this patience, focus on context. If you're in a quiet setting and her gestures are intentional, her touch may reflect a deeper interest. But if you're in a lively social scene, that same touch may just be part of the flow. As a man grounded in Stoic values, you don't seek validation from these moments. Instead, you simply note them, appreciating her gesture without assigning it excessive meaning. In relationships, the ability to observe without reacting is a skill that sets you apart. By reading her signals with emotional detachment, you avoid overanalyzing, letting things progress naturally. This calmness doesn't just enhance your relationships, it strengthens your self-worth, aligning you with the core of Stoic philosophy, finding inner peace through self-control and clarity. So when you sense her touch lingers, combined with eye contact or proximity, take a deep breath. Recognize it, appreciate it, but remain in command of yourself. This way, you honor her gesture without losing sight of your strength and value. Section 3. Signs of platonic interaction. In the world of Stoic philosophy, understanding intent without assumptions is essential. Often, when a woman touches your arm in a brief, casual manner, it's purely friendly. But how can you be sure? Here's where you need to tune in to context and avoid misinterpretation. Imagine you're having a light-hearted conversation, and she briefly taps your arm to emphasize a point. In moments like these, the touch usually reflects comfort and ease, not romance. Instead of diving into speculation, remind yourself to stay calm, observant, and composed. The Stoic mindset teaches us that a high-value man doesn't jump to conclusions. He watches, waits, and lets the moment reveal itself without projecting personal hopes or assumptions onto it. Understanding the tone of the conversation also helps. If she's sharing something light or seeking your advice on a casual topic, her touch is likely a gesture of connection, not attraction. Stoicism reminds us to avoid emotional reactions, keeping our interpretations grounded in reality. In this case, you recognize her touch as a social cue, nothing more. You appreciate it, respond naturally, and stay centered within yourself. Another factor is the setting. In a work environment, for example, a friendly pat on the arm is more likely to show camaraderie or rapport rather than romantic interest. If she's discussing work topics or making a light joke, it's wise to interpret this gesture as part of her social style rather than a signal of deeper feelings. Here, Stoic philosophy is your guide, encouraging a grounded response free from exaggerated interpretations or unnecessary emotional weight. It's also helpful to note body language cues around the touch. Is her posture relaxed? Is her tone friendly yet neutral? These subtle signals often tell you more than words. A high-value man knows that true clarity comes from observation, not assumption. He remains steady, honoring his self-worth by not reading too much into each gesture. As a Stoic, embracing this emotional detachment allows you to see the gesture for what it is, not what it could be. By focusing on context, tone, and setting, you stay composed, avoiding the pitfalls of overinterpretation. This grounded approach strengthens your relationships by making you a man of calm confidence, one who values genuine connection over fleeting moments. Ultimately, in these interactions, the goal is to maintain your sense of inner peace. You see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. This clarity doesn't only bring peace of mind, but also shapes you into a truly high-value man, defined by self-control and insight rather than reaction. Section 4. Stoic approach to interpreting touches. Now let's apply the Stoic approach to interpreting touches, one that strengthens emotional resilience and clarity. A touch, while seemingly simple, can carry layers of meaning. And yet, Stoic wisdom teaches us not to be swayed by appearances. The key here is to stay grounded. In moments when you feel a rush of excitement or curiosity, take a deep breath, And remember that as a high-value man, you're not quick to assume. You observe, you think, and you maintain your center. Stoicism emphasizes that our reactions are within our control, even when external events are not. If a woman touches your arm, it doesn't mean you need to jump to conclusions about her intentions. Instead, remind yourself to stay composed and to focus on the here and now. This mindset, drawn from Stoic teachings, allows you to appreciate the interaction without letting it define your self-worth or your peace of mind. Observe, don't assume is a mantra worth holding close to. When you observe without attachment, you avoid the traps of overthinking and misinterpretation. A high-value man sees a touch as a part of the moment, a social gesture that might mean something or might mean nothing. The Stoic approach frees you from the need to interpret every detail as a signal, letting you stay calm and open to whatever unfolds. Consider this: reacting impulsively might make you come across as over-invested, while staying calm signals strength and confidence. This controlled reaction reflects emotional detachment, a key trait in the Stoic mindset. You're here, experiencing life's moments, but you're not ruled by them. You recognize each gesture for what it is, a fleeting action, and nothing more. By observing, you empower yourself with insight and avoid falling into emotional turbulence. Respond with confidence is another guiding principle here. When you stay grounded and respond calmly, you reflect a high level of self-assurance. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our power lies not in controlling others' actions, but in mastering our own. In relationships, this means appreciating gestures without needing them to define you. It's about valuing your peace of mind over any validation a touch might bring. By practicing this approach, you not only enhance your presence, but also become someone who radiates calm and confidence. The high-value man doesn't need constant signals to feel secure. He finds security within himself. And this inner strength, this control over your reactions, naturally attracts genuine connections, allowing relationships to grow at their own pace. In this way, a Stoic approach to social interactions provides a solid foundation for building healthy, balanced connections. You're not chasing meaning in every touch or word. Instead, you're content with clarity, detached from impulsive interpretations, and fully present in each moment. Section 5. Contextual scenarios and practical examples. Let's delve into some contextual scenarios and practical examples. Real-life situations where these insights come to life. Imagine you're at a social gathering. Amid the laughter and conversation, a woman reaches out and touches your arm as she shares a funny story. This light, brief touch likely reflects comfort and friendliness. But the Stoic perspective reminds us to pause and observe, not react. Recognize her touch for what it is, a sign of ease and connection within that moment. In another situation, consider a one conversation. Here, she places her hand on your arm and holds eye contact a little longer. Stoic teachings remind you to stay grounded, acknowledging her actions without jumping to assumptions. This lingering touch may hint at deeper interest, but instead of interpreting it instantly as romantic, observe her overall behavior. A high-value man doesn't rely on one action alone. He seeks a pattern, waiting for consistent signals before making any conclusions. Now, think about a work setting. Perhaps during a discussion, she lightly pats your arm to emphasize her point. In a professional environment, such gestures often signal camaraderie and rapport, rather than personal interest. The Stoic mindset helps you separate context from emotion, encouraging a composed response that honors the professionalism of the setting. By staying mindful of the environment, you avoid clouding your interactions with personal interpretations, maintaining a respectful, calm demeanor. Another common scenario is meeting someone new in a casual, social environment. Let's say she reaches out to touch your arm while laughing or making a point. Stoic philosophy teaches us to let these moments flow naturally, without attaching significance prematurely. Recognize the gesture and engage with it, but remain present in the broader context of the interaction. By doing so, you cultivate emotional stability and avoid being swayed by small gestures, keeping your reactions balanced and respectful. Through these examples, we see that context is key. In each scenario, a Stoic approach gives you clarity. You're not searching for hidden meanings in each touch. Instead, You're accepting each moment as it comes, building genuine connections based on presence, not on fleeting signs. This calm, grounded approach enhances your social intelligence. You gain the ability to read situations accurately, reflecting both emotional control and an inner peace that Stoicism advocates. A high-value man observes without attachment, engages without neediness, and responds without haste. His focus is on building interactions that matter, ones that grow organically, free from the weight of overinterpretation. Section 6. Misinterpretations and common pitfalls. Next, let's talk about the common pitfalls and misinterpretations we often fall into when it comes to touch and body language. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of seeing things clearly, free from the haze of emotional assumptions. Yet in social interactions, it's easy to misinterpret gestures, leading to overreactions or misunderstandings. The high-value man, however, learns to avoid these traps, staying grounded and rational instead. One of the biggest pitfalls is overanalyzing. A touch might feel significant, but when we dive too deeply into what it could mean, we lose sight of the actual moment. Stoicism reminds us that attachment to outcomes clouds our perception. Instead of overthinking each touch, step back. Recognize it as a moment of human connection without assigning excessive meaning to it. This detachment not only preserves your peace, but also lets interactions unfold naturally without undue pressure. Another common misstep is falling for mixed signals. Often, body language isn't as straightforward as we'd like. A person may send signals unconsciously or out of habit that might not reflect deeper interest. The Stoic approach teaches us to understand the difference between intentional actions and automatic gestures. Here, patience is essential. Observe patterns, not isolated gestures, and let the consistency or inconsistency of her actions guide your understanding. Mixed signals only gain weight when we give them meaning. Instead, approach each moment on its terms, with the clarity of a calm mind. Staying objective is the third pillar in avoiding these pitfalls. A Stoic perspective emphasizes objectivity, meaning we don't let hopes or biases shape our interpretations. High-value men don't view each gesture as a validation of their worth. They view it as a part of the moment, nothing more. In social settings, this mindset shields you from needless emotional entanglement, letting you enjoy interactions as they are, not as you wish them to be. Misinterpretations can also arise from personal biases. If we're hoping for a particular outcome, we're more likely to see signals where there may be none. This is why Stoicism values inner peace over external validation. By maintaining emotional control, you free yourself from seeking meaning in every interaction. You engage sincerely, appreciating each gesture, but without relying on it for assurance. These pitfalls, overanalyzing, confusing mixed signals, and losing objectivity, can cloud your social intelligence. But by embracing a Stoic approach, you see things for what they are, not what you wish them to be. This clarity brings confidence, letting you remain calm, resilient, and genuinely connected. The high-value man learns that true connection is born from patience, observation, and the ability to stay centered amidst social signals, allowing relationships to grow organically without force. Section 7. Reading additional body language cues. Now let's dive into the additional body language cues that can deepen your understanding of these interactions. A high-value man recognizes that gestures, tone, and expressions all form a language of their own. When a woman touches your arm, there's often more at play than just the touch. Stoic philosophy reminds us to be present and to observe each subtle cue with an open mind and a steady heart. One key cue is hand placement. If her touch lingers longer, or if she repositions her hand after touching it, it might indicate a deeper sense of comfort or interest. In these moments, the Stoic response is calm, not reactive. You're there, fully aware of her gesture, but you don't leap to conclusions. Instead, you take it as one sign, waiting patiently to see if her actions align with genuine interest over time. Next, pay attention to facial expression. The look on her face often speaks louder than her words or touch. Is there a genuine open smile, or perhaps a look of warmth? Such expressions, combined with touch, can indicate that she's truly comfortable in your presence. But even here, a Stoic approach tells us to stay calm, allowing her actions to reveal themselves without the weight of our assumptions. This mindfulness keeps you centered, not swayed by every interaction. Voice and tone also play a role in interpreting these gestures. If her voice softens or she speaks in a lower tone while touching you, it may suggest a closer bond or even a hint of flirtation. Alternatively, if her tone is energetic and light, it's likely just friendly. Stoicism teaches us to stay aware, recognizing these subtle cues without letting them dominate our emotions. As a high-value man, you maintain control over your responses, allowing yourself to fully engage, but with a calm, steady presence. Remember, each of these cues, hand placement, facial expressions, and tone, offers insights, but none should be interpreted in isolation. The Stoic approach values observation, the ability to connect the dots over time, not in a single moment. You see the pattern, but you don't let it control you. You remain centered, grounded in your self-worth, appreciating the present moment as it is. In mastering this approach, you gain a deeper understanding of social interactions, becoming attuned to both subtlety and authenticity. A high-value man doesn't rush to label each gesture or expression. He sees the whole picture, assessing cues calmly and letting them reveal their true meaning naturally. Through this steady approach, you embody the essence of Stoicism: self-control, clarity, and a respect for genuine connection. You don't seek answers in fleeting gestures. You find peace in patience, and in doing so, you cultivate relationships that reflect depth, trust, and mutual respect. Section 8. Applying Stoicism for confidence in social interactions. Now let's explore how to apply Stoicism to build confidence in social interactions, especially in understanding and responding to subtle cues like touch. A touch can be many things: a friendly gesture, a sign of comfort, or a subtle hint of interest. But Stoic philosophy teaches us not to be swayed by the initial impression. Instead, it calls us to embrace the art of detachment from outcomes, grounding ourselves in clarity and emotional resilience. First, detachment from outcomes is key. When you don't cling to specific interpretations, you allow the interaction to unfold naturally. Think of it as observing without anticipation. If you meet someone and she touches your arm, don't jump to conclusions. Appreciate the moment, engage fully, but let go of any expectation. A high-value man trusts that if there's genuine interest, it will reveal itself in time. The Stoic approach frees you from the need for constant validation, allowing you to be present without the weight of overinterpretation. Another core principle is learning to embrace uncertainty. Not every interaction will have a clear meaning, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches that comfort with uncertainty builds true strength. When you accept that some gestures may remain ambiguous, you cultivate a calm that's unshaken by momentary actions. You're no longer trying to control or label every touch or look. Instead, you find peace in the unknown, knowing that clarity will come naturally over time. In practicing this, remember that strength lies in composure. A high-value man radiates confidence, not through overanalyzing, but through steady presence. When a woman touches your arm, for instance, respond calmly, maintaining your own emotional space. You're not looking for signs to validate your worth. Rather, you're grounded, observing as she expresses herself. This composure, born of self-control, draws people to you because it shows you're unaffected by fleeting signals. The Stoic mindset also reminds us to avoid attaching unnecessary emotions to each interaction. When you detach from specific outcomes, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of highs and lows that can come with interpreting gestures. This stability is the foundation of confidence, helping you engage meaningfully without losing your inner peace. You remain grounded, welcoming each connection for what it is, a moment of shared humanity. In social settings, this approach not only strengthens your confidence, but also makes you more attractive. People sense when someone is calm, unaffected, and focused on the bigger picture. The high-value man, guided by Stoic principles, embodies this energy. He values patience, embraces uncertainty, and approaches each interaction with a sense of peace. So, what does it mean when a woman touches your arm? At its core, it's about understanding the subtle language of connection, without rushing to conclusions or seeking hidden meanings. The Stoic approach teaches us to remain calm, centered, and observant, allowing each moment to unfold as it truly is. By mastering this mindset, you stand firm, unshaken by fleeting gestures, and confident in who you are. True confidence isn't about reading every signal. It's about staying grounded, enjoying each interaction for what it brings, and letting deeper connections form naturally. This clarity and inner strength are what set a high-value man apart. If these insights resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official. Join us in exploring how Stoicism can empower your life, helping you navigate relationships with calm, purpose, and resilience. Stay with us for more wisdom on mastering the art of self-control and inner peace.